Hello, Chery.
I am listening.
Open sunroof.
No problem.
I don't normally do that in my reviews, but I think it's important that I actually do from now on. Hello, Chery.
Please continue.
Close the sunroof.
Got it.
Let's start the review. Welcome back to Switcher South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash, as always, in program to change cars and all things motoring. Today, you join me in a vehicle that, surprisingly, we don't have on the channel, but we've had its older siblings like the Chery Tiggo 7 Pro and the Chery Tiggo 8 Pro Max, the pre-facelift and the facelift. So this is the first time I'm actually driving this vehicle, believe it or not. So I'm going to tell you everything you need to know of this vehicle, from the exterior look of the vehicle, interior look of the vehicle, overall drive, and what I think about this vehicle at its cost price. So the interesting thing is that for the price of this vehicle, you can get another Chinese vehicle, and that's where for me it gets tricky in terms of price of this vehicle, but I understand why Chery brought this vehicle. So from the exterior look of the vehicle, I personally am not a fan of the Chery Tiggo 8. I'm Tiggo 4. Oh, I'm saying Tiggo 8 because I'm used to the 8. I'm not a fan of the 4. I'm a fan of the 8. The 4 itself, the one I'm testing, I'm not a fan of it. Like overall, I just look like, for me, the structure of the vehicle itself is not my liking. I'm not a fan of it. But up front, you get LED headlamps over there. You get halogen daytime running lights over there. Very simple. You get your fog lamps down here, indicator over there, and then you get this grill. The grill is okay, big for something so small, and then lower end of the vehicle, you get silver cladding over there, but it's okay. Up front, there's not much to say. This red color, for me, it's okay for this vehicle. So moving along, something that I actually like, moving along to the side of the vehicle, is you get black alloy wheels. And I think for something like this to look good, considering that you have a lot of black accents over here and also by the door, it's good to have your black accents there. Then your brake, not your brake caliper, but your brake caliper cover, your dust cover essentially, is in red over there. I like that. The red with the red there looks good. But the overall side profile of the vehicle is okay. You get keyless entry and keyless start with this vehicle. Underneath underneath the rear view mirror, yeah, side mirror, my mistake, you get a camera. So this vehicle has 360 review camera. So I like that about that's something I actually do like about the vehicle. Looking at the price point of the vehicle as well. Then when you move to the rear end of the vehicle, I per se, I'm not really a fan of the look of the vehicle at the back, but overall, for me, the car is okay. I understand the market of the people that are going to be buying this vehicle. So you get your tail lamps over there. Unfortunately, they're not LED tail lamps. Would have looked much better, more slicker if they were LED tail lamps. Then you get your indicators over there and your reverse light over there. This part looks a bit smoked out compared to any other normal tail lights, so it looks a bit smoked out. Looks okay. Then you get chrome down here at the bottom with your silver over there, reverse sensors over there. Your camera is over here. Then you get your camera over there. Then you Chery badging here, and obviously Tiggo 4 Pro. There's something missing. I think with the next generation Tiggo 4, there's gonna be a Max. There's definitely gonna be a Max over here. Mark my words, it's gonna be a Max. But yeah, I think for me that's just a quick run around of the vehicle in terms of the exterior look of the vehicle. Let's go in the interior, because I think for me, being inside of the vehicle is much better for me than being outside of the vehicle. So when you get into the interior of the vehicle, it looks like its older siblings. So it's just that everything is a bit smaller than its older siblings. You get your digital touchscreen infotainment system, which supports Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly. I like that, but also on the fence with this specific unit or this specific model, because it doesn't work as efficient as I'd want it to. So it tends to cut from time to time in terms of my music will cut and all that stuff. And then lower end over here, you get your climate control system, but it actually doesn't really work. It's just showing you what is like currently on or off. The only thing that works is your on button here and your defrost AC button and auto and sync. But in terms of your speed, you need to go into the infotainment system like that. Then you increase the speed there. So I'm really not a fan of it. To change your temperature as well from high, you'd expect it to be here because there's temperature screens at the bottom, but actually you need to go here and do that, for example. So I'm not a fan of that. I don't like climate control that's found in the infotainment system. Then when you get to the steering wheel, it looks like any other Chery Tiggo steering wheel. So the 7s and the 8, same design, looks the same. You get your cruise control functions on the left hand side, your track selection on the right hand side over here. Then you get your digital instrument cluster up front. So it's not full digital, just digital in the center. The most important things, your speed, your average fuel consumption, your trip is over there. And then in terms of your fuel and the other warning features are on your fuels on the right hand side, and then your warning features and everything else is on the left hand side with your temperature gauges as well. But being in the interior of the vehicle, by the door, you get this finishing here by the door, which I actually do like. It feels good as well. Then moving on to where the window switches are, this specific model is black and red interior, so I like that. I'm showing you that you're actually seeing where your money is going. It feels good as well on top of that. Then it also goes across the dashboard over here and to the door handle on the passenger side of the vehicle. And I'm not sure if you can see now, but the vehicle does also have ambient lighting, and I think it's a good feature or something good that the vehicle has ambient lighting, because it's nice to have ambient lighting when you're driving in the evening, because it feels very nice being in the vehicle. Then the seats as well, the seats have red detailing, red stitching on them. They feel good, very supportive. I, as the driver, meaning I get electric seats for the driver, so the driver seat is electronic, but every other seat is manual. The passenger seat is manual. Not really finicky about that. It's okay that every other seat is manual. So when you go to the back seat of the vehicle, you get decent enough legroom, decent enough headroom. You get your climate control vents over here. Then you get your one type A USB port, and then you get two type A USB ports up front over here. So the downside of this vehicle for me, this is a 2024 vehicle, but there is no type C ports anyway. So I don't get that. At least give me type C ports in a 2024 vehicle, because phones nowadays come with type C only. So yeah, I'm finicky about that. I don't like that. I don't want to be buying a different cable just because of a car, but otherwise, being here at the back, it actually feels good to sit. Where I'm sitting feels good. The red detailing runs through to the back as well, here by the door handles as well. You get the same finishing up here by the handle itself, black and red detailing. Then center here, you get your armrest with two cup holders, and then you get a 60-40 split. So these two seats go down, this seat goes down. If you look at my Lexus video, and I can't remember which other video I did recently, I spoke about through loading in vehicles, and some of you guys said, what is that? And I explained what is that. This is the vehicle when I said some vehicles don't have through loading like this. This doesn't have through loading. So I can't load something from the boot through in the middle. I'll have to drop either of the seats, whether it's these two or this one. Let's go to the boot as I'm speaking about the boot and see how big it is. So the boot, actually, I'm going to put the boot in terms of liters on the screen, but real world look and feel of the boot is quite big. Considering how small the car looks, this boot is quite big. I can tell you right now, I can fit two large suitcases, one this side, and a few things on top. So I'm actually happy about the boot. It looks good, it looks big enough. And then you don't get a 12-volt socket. Let me just double check. Yes, you do not get a 12-volt socket in the back. You just get hooks here, one hook here, one hook there. So you get 4 hooks down here, and then your spare wheel underneath. I'm yet to check the spare wheel. Is it a full-size spare wheel, or is it a biscuit? Space saver spare wheel, the other word. I think my reaction tells you what type of spare wheel it is. If you don't know, then you don't watch the channel often enough. Let's go for a drive, and then we're gonna do the conclusion of the Chery Tiggo 4 Pro 4, not Max for now. So when you get into the drive of the vehicle, I am happy that they've introduced the DCT model, which is the one I'm test driving. So this is the Chery Tiggo 4 Pro DCT. So you're getting a 7-speed dual clutch transmission, which the vehicle itself is a 1.5 liter turbocharged vehicle, which produces 108 kilowatts and just over 200 newton meters of torque. And it's something though small for me, it's decent enough. It works well. It gives you the power when you need it. So you want that extra push in terms of power, it'll give it to you. I haven't found myself driving this vehicle at a point in time, and also understanding the type of person that will be buying this vehicle and driving this vehicle. There hasn't been a point where I say, I wish I had more power. I've enjoyed the overall drive of the vehicle. The downside of the vehicle for me is two main things that I've noticed. And the first thing I noticed off the onset is, the first thing was at low speed like this. So let's just say I'm standing still at a robot, right? And I want to pull away. Like that low. See, that. I was not even full throttle. And to show you again, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's wet. It's just that how that low end jerkiness of the gearbox. So you'll see foot down, lag, then it kicks in. I'm not even foot flat. I'm sure I'm like 30%, 40% in terms of throttle input. So that's the downside of the DCT gearbox. But overall, once you start driving, or once you move from the first gear to the second gear, or from the initial pickup, the car's enjoyable to drive. You put your foot down, it decides the gear, it's nice to drive. The power is there. You know, you'll enjoy driving the vehicle. And for me, that's where they get it right. The other part where, and this is across many Chinese vehicles, or as Michael Pashut doesn't like me calling them Chinese vehicles. That's if you watch our podcast, you'd know. That part of Asia is they tend to struggle in terms of fuel efficiency, and they are yet to get it right unless if it's a hybrid vehicle. If it's a hybrid, top on, heads off in terms of efficiency. But those vehicle was known for being thirsty, and across all Chery models, they're known for being thirsty, and you expect the DCT to be a bit more fuel efficient, but unfortunately this isn't fuel efficient, so it's still on the more thirstier side of things. I did reset the trip kilometer today morning, and I drove efficiently. Even went on the highway, I put the cruise control on 110. In city driving, I was driving between 50 and 60, getting, just trying to get the most out of the efficiency. And the system, the onboard computer system, is telling me that I'm averaging 10.7, and honestly I have no business averaging 10.7 in something this big. Chery claims a 6.7. Do I think you'll get to that 6.7? Personally, I don't think you will. Now we're at that most important part of the review. What I would like to think is the most important part of the review, because I speak about the pricing of the vehicle, would I buy it, its competitors, and how much you're gonna be looking at spending per month on this vehicle, and whether I would buy it. So this vehicle, this specific one, you're looking at just over 415,000 rand. You can get into a Chery Tiggo 4 at just over 300,000 rand. But this specific unit, if you take it to the vehicle finance calculator on the Change Cars website, and you finance this vehicle over a period of 5 years, which is 60 months, at an interest rate of 12.25% with no deposit, no balloon payment, you're looking at paying 9,300 rand. And I personally, for that amount of money, I feel like you're getting a really good car. And if you had to put a deposit down, it changes from 9,000 rand to 8,000 rand to 7,000 rand, depending on your deposit. But competitors as well. Let's look at the competitors. Speaking about the Japanese at first, you're looking at the Suzuki Grand Vitara, you're looking at the Toyota Urban Cruiser, and then you're looking at the Hyundai Venue as well. You're looking at, top of my head, I'm trying to think now. There's the newly launched Mahindra that we launched now in Sun City, the Mahindra 3XO. There's the vehicle that so the vehicles I mentioned, all size-wise in and around this. The vehicle I'm about to mention is a bit bigger, and a lot of you maybe are not thinking of it, is the Haval Julian. So you can get into a Julian at just between 300 and 400,000 rand, in between there, around 340, 350. Then it goes all the way up to 500,000 rand. So obviously I'm not recommending the one that costs 500,000 rand. There's the Haval, it's called the 1.5 liter luxury DCT. That goes for 420,000 rand, so like 4,000 rand more, which is nothing. I personally would rather spend my money there, because I feel like you're getting a bigger car and a better looking car. But looks are subjective. You might like the look of this vehicle, you might like the Chery brand over the GWM Haval brand, but I personally would rather look at those vehicles before I look at this one, because I'm already not a fan of the Chery Tiggo 4 as a whole. But that's just my personal thoughts of the vehicle. It comes to that important part as well of the review, where I'm giving you guys that are watching 420,000 rand. Where are you spending your money? Are you going to spend it on the Japanese, your Toyotas or Suzukis, or your Koreans, your Hyundais? Where else? Where are you going to spend your money? Or are you going to spend it by the Indians, the Mahindra, because that's also a very good vehicle. And we'll speak about that one when I do get on test. But I personally am taking my money and I'm going to Haval Julian. But thank you guys for watching this beautiful episode. This car, it's okay, but unfortunately it's not for me. Thank you for actually subscribing to the channel. We are currently at just over 24,000 subscribers. I'm happy. Let's get to that 30,000 before the year ends. Let's also go to the traveling channel. I want 1,000 guys, just 1,000. 1,000 of you guys, just go that side. Please, I'd appreciate it. Also subscribe to the Change Cars and All Things Motoring YouTube channel. I'd appreciate that too. What am I missing out? Oh, you saw the golf project. Please subscribe, because the golf project is what this funds that. So please subscribe. But yeah, I'm Nicky Nash from Future South Africa and Practicality, change cars and all things motoring. I hope you guys did like the content. I just want to know where you're gonna spend your money. You're gonna spend it here or somewhere else. But as always, I'm signing out. I'll see you in the next one.